Hello all you geeks and geeklets out there. Tyranodork is here with another Everquest 2 House Break Ins. Yeah! Oh, that portal shut down. Today I'm over in the lovely city of Neriak, the city of hate. Come on. This is a loving place, even though it's a city of hate. It was built underground by the Dark Elves in order to get away from everybody. It has a lot of, I don't know, like neon lights and glowy stuff down here, which you'd probably expect to find in a cave system. But today I am bringing another of the evil races. I don't know, I can't really call them good and evil races, even though they're factioned off between good, evil, and neutral. This is just the Freeport's allied faction races. Let's go with that. It's a Freeport allied faction races. So I am bringing the Neriak side, since last time I did Killathan. Yeah, what you looking at? That's right, you better keep walking. Okay, I got the next victim in line. You ready? Oh, wait. Everybody just keep it cool. Keep it cool. Don't worry. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, breach! Wow. Whoa. Careful, buddy. You almost spat on me. Okay, so, hello? Ding, ding, ding. Hello? Anybody here? No? Good. Ah! Okay, I'll be good. I'll be quiet. The city of Neriak, also called the city of hate. Probably because it's an evil-aligned city. It's also known as the City of Hate because of its home of the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves are supposed to embody evil and maliciousness, but I disagree. I've met many friendly Dark Elves in my adventures, including a cleric in the old days. Perhaps culturally they are seen that way, probably as a way of defense, but individually I've seen them as good people. Dark Elves are one of the oldest races of Norath, and known as the Tyr Dal. You also have the High Elves called the Kodadal, and the Wood Elves called Faradal. Later in that mix you also have the Half Elves that are called Eridal. Back to Neriak, the city is also home to the Arasai. They are the more malicious of fairies. They look kinda like the Fae, but with bat wings and darker colors. Other races can start in Neriak as well, like the Ixar, Ogre, Trolls, and Sarnak. Outside of Neriak is the starting zone Darklight Woods. That's where the new characters who chose Neriak to be their home city. That is also one of the better starting questlines to do. I believe even good aligned races can run that questline, but they just have to steer clear of the guards that patrol the roadways. Now, it's stuff like that that makes EverQuest franchise so interesting. You may have certain aligned races, but you can still explore any of the zones. There's no magical force keeping you from talking to other factions or keeping you from many quest lines. I could start in Kinos and run over to Darklight Woods and do the quest line provided. I stay away from guards on the KOS or kill on sight factions against me. No! Why? Why, God? Why have you forsaken me? What's with the shovel? And there's a spoon! It's a miniature shovel! Blah. Okay, continuing on. Later I could just betray my city faction and work up faction to join the Neriak and become friendly with them. This is the difference between mechanic-driven games and a rule-driven one. Rule-driven games are hard set with top-down rules that the players have to follow. Like no interacting with the opposing faction unless it's through conflict. I'm looking at you, WoW and ESO. It's like hitting an invisible wall. Mechanic-driven games have rules, but they're soft and bottom up. What that means is that there could be obstacles, but there's usually a way around them using the mechanics of the game, like working on improving faction or running a quest line. Lots of old Everquest is like this, with faction and quest lines opening up better opportunities for role-playing. Now I like the starting quest lines because they get your character set with a decent looking armor and stats. You can run either through Darklight Woods, Tamara's Deep, Greater Fade Arc, or Frostfang Sea to get good starting set for your class. Darklight has that dark and moody vibe to it. Now, one of the quest lines for Darklight involved getting some fish bait to lure out a shark because of a fisherman lost a lure to it, and they wanted it back. So when you have enough fish, you can chum the water to lure out the shark. The best part of this is that you can collect more fish than you need to complete the quest. So my brother and I decided to be a couple little trolls here, and after finishing the quest, we hid out a site for players to come swimming through, and then we chummed the water to summon the shark. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody ever got hit by it, but if they did, we would have ran in there and helped them. The thing was, you can get in and out of that water pretty quickly, so most of the time you wouldn't even notice a shark swimming around. And talking about cruel jokes, one of the quests of Darklight would turn a group's god against them. Over at the Wonderlust Fair is a dark elf called Balashali do Torilil, and she had a captured cultist from the nearby Sable Flame crater. First, you'd have to harvest some special ore in the crater called fiery ore that produced fire tears. Then you would need to get a catalyst for the summoning from one of the high-ranking cultists. Finally, you would use the fire tears and a catalyst to summon a tainted version of the cultist's god that would give them the fiery salvation they always wanted. Now, back in the old Everquest, my brother decided to make a dark elf. In those days, the cities weren't laid out to be streamlined for every passage for players to run through. They were made to be winding cities. I remember him taking an hour to find the exit to the city. This is before we had any map programs, so we had to explore around. Neriak is a scenic city with many gorgeous sights like neon symbols and imagery floating around. There are bars and shops as well as large forges and castles too. Neriak in Everquest 2 is far easier to get around since it's mostly a linear path, but original Everquest wasn't so nice. If I remember right, my brother had to ask for help in order to get out of that. That reminds me whenever he started as a rogue in Kinos. Original Everquest gave you a starting note of instructions to hand into your guildmaster. Unfortunately, the Thieves Guild was meant to be hard to find, and not only that, but had traps. I don't remember how he found the invisible door to the guild, probably on the instructions, but he had a heck of a time with a false spike trap pit that you kept falling whenever you go through the winding path. Now, we thought you had to hit it just right in order to get there, but eventually he found out there was another invisible door right there before the spike trap pit, and then that would take him safely down to the Thieves Guild. And that would be it for today. That's all my time, and hope you enjoyed my ramblings as I showed off another Everquest 2 house. So, hope you enjoyed it, everyone, and have a good one. Stay awesome.